Hello, and welcome to the NVT Phybridge Web GUI overview video. My name is Nico, and today we'll be discussing the Web GUI, or Graphic User Interface, on the FLEX24, Clear24, Polar24, and Polar48 managed switches. We will divide this video into 4 parts, each dealing with each page of the GUI and diving deeper into the sub-tabs within them. In order to connect to the GUI, you will need to connect your managed switch via the uplink or management ports of your device. The default IP addresses for a managed switch would be 192.168.100.1 for the uplink ports and 192.168.1.1 for the management. Type in the required IP address in the address bar of your web browser. We recommend the use of Google Chrome for the sake of easy connectivity. From here, you will be brought to the login page of your switch, and the default username is admin, and the password is also admin. You will first be brought to the System page, specifically within the Overview tab. The System page holds 3 tabs, which are Overview, Performance, and Network Stats. When looking specifically at the Overview tab, we can see that there are several panels detailing general information for both port statuses and information on the switch, such as its MAC addresses, IP addresses, serial number, and much more. Transitioning into the Performance tab, we can look at 4 live tracked panels which record CPU load, memory, power usage, and temperature. It is important to note that the Polar managed switches differentiate from Clear and Flex in that it has a Network Stats tab instead of a Log tab found in the System page. If we look at the Polar's Network Stats tab, we can see real-time activity for each of the uplink and downlink ports, recording their current link status, number of packets transmitted and received, and the errors that occur within their traffic. The Ethernet page has 2 tabs for the Polar managed switches, but has an additional tab for Clear and Flex managed switches. The tabs they all share are uplink ports and downlink ports. However, the tabs that are exclusive to the Clear and Flex managed switches is the PoE tab. From the uplink ports tab, we can configure the IP and subnet settings from their respective panels, as well as create a default gateway from the panel below. If we go into the Downlink Ports tab, we're able to manage the downlink ports on a port-by-port basis. This is where we are able to also view the uptimes for the devices on each port, the MAC addresses of each connected device, and the number of link-down events on each port. For more information on what link-down events are, please look at the link-down events video, which can be found linked in the description down below. It should be noted that on the Clear24 and Flex24 managed switches, there is an additional tab within the Ethernet page called the PoE tab, where we are able to configure PoE settings on a port-by-port basis by setting it to either auto, manual, or turning it off completely on the port. The Vlan page acts as the main configuration point for all Vlan settings and holds 3 tabs: Vlan table, Vlan to port, and assign PVID. The Vlan table page allows you to make Vlan configurations and create, delete, or edit an existing Vlan and set one Vlan as the default. The Vlan to port page allows us to assign or remove ports from various Vlans without the need of console commands. Finally, the Assign PVID page allows us to assign ports with a primary Vlan ID. This is also where the port's native untagged Vlan can be assigned. Each Vlan acts as a separate panel within this tab in order to make quick and seamless configurations within the Vlan page. If you would like a more in-depth look within Vlan and trunking, please check again for the description below for links on our Vlan and trunking informational videos. Our 4th and final page is the admin page, which is divided into 4 tabs. The tabs are Setup, Services, Log, and Terminal. The Setup tab allows for the configuration of basic switch settings within the System Settings panel. From here, we can change the host name, date and time, as well as the power over Ethernet voltage per port. We can also import and export existing configurations within the panel below. The Services tab allows us to enable and disable networking services without the need of console commands. From here, we can access the Services checkbox panel, where we are able to enable services such as LLDP and STP with a simple click of a button. The tab below it allows us to set up a remote log server, or changes made within this panel will be effective immediately after hitting apply. The Network Time Protocol panel allows us to direct the switch to one or multiple NTP servers, where it will receive its NTP packets. And below that, we can change the spanning tree protocol types from STP to RSTP and alter its bridge priority. Finally, the Simple Network Management Protocol allows us to change the receiver IP address that will take in SNMP traffic from our managed switch. The Log tab allows us to view real-time updates between all ports on the switch. Logging information can be filtered by lines and field values, as well as download logs for informational use. The final tab is the Terminal tab. This tab provides us with a command line interface where you can use to configure the switch and diagnose switch issues. From here, we can use a variety of PAL commands, which we would be used in a command line emulator in order to make configuration changes on the managed switch. Clicking the Save button on this panel will download all the commands executed in the output window. The file name will save as a text file and consists of the host name and date of information. Below the CLI panel is also a notepad where notes can be added to the switch. In addition to the separate configuration pages, the Help page has detailed descriptions and guides on how to use all of the web GUI and command line interface commands of the switch. It functions as an interactive user guide and can be very useful when getting started with your managed switch. Afterwards, we can hit the Log Out icon, which is directly to the right of the Help icon, to log out of our switch. Thank you for watching the NVT Phybridge Web GUI overview for the FLEX24, Clear24, Polar24, and Polar48 managed switches. Our switches are capable of many more robust configurations, which can be found on our administrative guides at nvtphybridge.com. We hope this has been an informative look at the various features that our web GUIs can provide, and we hope you have a wonderful day.